are going to be rebuilding Everton from FIFA 14 all the way to FC 24. The blue side of Merseyside, who have been struggling a little bit in the last couple of years. While the red side of Merseyside, yeah, they've kind of been living it up in the last 10 years. But back in FIFA 14, they had a pretty solid team, and this is what it looked like. Leighton Baines was at the peak of his powers for Everton. You've got some names that are pretty iconic to Everton back in this time, like Kevin Morales as well as Steven Pienaar. And who could forget a player they had on loan from Chelsea was Romelu Lukaku when he was making his name early on. And of course, there are a lot of other young, really good players that are going to get even better that we know, like Seamus Coleman, for example, is one. A player that I sometimes forget was at Everton is Gerard Deulofeu, but it gets even better. John Stones, of course, only 19 years of age. He's not a right back anymore. Pretty tidy centre back for Manchester City, the 4th time in a row winning Premier League side. Oh, and we can't stop there. We got Ross Barkley as well. I could keep going. But I'm not, people. You know the drill. We're going to take this Everton team in FIFA 14 and we're going to sign and sell players with this side all the way to FC 24. We're going to see if we can make Everton more successful, specifically in this rebuild, than Liverpool. We want to make Everton the team in Liverpool. So be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, and let's get underway. Now, if you're a bit of an eagle eye, you may have noticed that Marouane Fellaini is in this team right now. Well, I'm actually preventing Fellaini from leaving Everton because this season he ended up joining Manchester United, going over there with David Moyes. I'm going to hold on to Marouane Fellaini because he will be quite a solid option. I'm going to play him at centre attacking midfield, but there is one player I would really love to bring back to Everton. I might not be able to do it this season, but that player is Wayne Rooney. Of course, you know, came up through the Everton ranks, ended up being sold off to Manchester United. I want to bring this man back. I know eventually he does, but I want him back at a really high, respectable overall. At 23.5 million, I don't think we're going to have the cash to afford him because our budget is, you know, barely half that, a little over half that. Another player that in real life eventually would go to Everton, one of the most WTF signings of all time, and that, ladies and gentlemen, was James Rodriguez. Yeah, of course, he ended up joining Everton a little later in his career. Why don't we pick him up right now, right before his outstanding 2014 World Cup campaign? So, as you can see, we have blown everything in the budget to sign James Rodriguez before he goes to Real Madrid. And oh, lads, I'm telling you, we're going to take a guy that maybe exactly didn't accomplish wonders with Everton when he was there in real life and make him maybe an Evertonian legend. I mean, goddamn, what a team we have early already with Lukaku, James Rodriguez, and a lot of other players that we know are going to get highly rated. But let's get straight into it. We're going to have a bit of a tough job to try to go better than Everton in real life because they actually came 5th in the Premier League. Can we somehow go one better straight away and get into the Champions League? Oh my goodness, we sure have. We've ended up going 4th. We finished ahead of Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal. Well, that is not a bad way to start off the rebuild, immediately getting some Champions League football. Clearly, the addition of James Rodriguez had to have done a little something there. But either way, not a bad start to things. Here are the substitutes, here are the reserves, and now let's head on over to FIFA 15. Now this season in FIFA 15, Everton didn't really let go of a lot of big names, but they did let go of kind of a future big name when they sold Shane Duffy to Blackburn for £1.9 million. Now, let's be honest, 67 overall doesn't look anything too crazy, but we know he does eventually have a solid season or two in the Premier League, so I think he's worth keeping. The exact same goes for a couple of other reserve players that aren't anything crazy right now, but Lundstrom is a player that's balling out for Rangers these days as well, up to a very respectable overall too. So those players aren't going anywhere, and we will recreate 2 real-life signings. One was the permanent transfer of Romelu Lukaku, so yes, Lukaku will be an Evertonian for what I can imagine will be this whole rebuild. And we're also going to sign another striker. It's going to be Samuel Eto'o, another one of those what the you-know-what signings like Eto'o going to Everton. But technically, he would become our highest rated striker, so we're going to keep him for a little bit, and then I am sure Romelu Lukaku will eventually take that spot from him. But yeah, aside from that, the team looks pretty good. Shout out to James Rodriguez at center attack and midfield, 86 rated now. Off the back of his outstanding, World Cup in 2014, he obviously went to Real Madrid. Not here. He is an Evertonian still. Our budget again is around 12 to sort of 13, 14 million with the wage if we adjust it. With that money, I'm probably going to go for a replacement for Sylvain Distin, the lowest rated player in our starting 11 and one of the oldest as well at like 34, 35. And one player I think could be a very tidy replacement is Virgil van Dijk of Celtic. Yeah, you already know what we were going to do. We're trying to become the best Merseyside team. We're going to need to try to screw over Liverpool at every opportunity. However, we may need to spend a bit beyond his value in order to get him, but that's okay. This is Virgil van Dijk we're talking about. I'm going to try to sell some players in order to get the cash to get the deal done just in case, like Leon Osman here. Also got a handful of other older, lower rated players transfer listed that we're probably not going to need, at least not in the near future. Like Kone here, for example. We're going to let him go to Palace. Looks like Celtic have also accepted that 5 million, so we are bringing in Virgil van Dijk. Welcome to the blue side of Liverpool, Virgil van Dijk. What a big time pickup this is. To think, right now, our centre-back partnership is Jagielka and Distin, but it will be in the future Virgil van Dijk and John Stones, baby. Hell yeah. Oh, totally forgot to mention, shout out the rest of the bench. Barkley's up to 78, and we, of course, have held on to Gerard Deulofeu. Even though Dortmund are smart, they want to try to pick him up, but no, we are not letting him leave. We've been able to sell a few more players, got the budget back up again, but I still don't think it's going to be enough for Wayne Rooney. At his £34 million valuation, I just don't see a world in which we're getting him at least for another year or two. We, of course, are in the Champions League this season as well. This is what our group looks like. Porto, Bilbao, and Zenit. We could maybe get out of that. The real-life Everton came 11th in the Premier League this season. What can we do this time around? Wow, okay then. So we actually finished 10th in the Premier League. One place better than Everton did in real life. A bit of a surprise, to say the least, when we finished bloody 4th last season and have stacked on some decent talent. It's weird, we're really following the real-life Everton quite closely at the moment. There was no Capital One Cup or FA Cup title won this season. We kind of got close in the FA Cup, lost to Man United. But are you ready for this? We were 1 or 2 games away from winning a Champions League with Everton. Can you believe we made the semi-finals only to get knocked out by Real Madrid? Very clearly, our Premier League campaign was sacrificed to try to win this. Unfortunately, it didn't work, and hell, look on the other side of the bracket. We nearly had a Merseyside Champions League final in FIFA 15. That would have been crazy, but it was not to be. What a shame. Oh well, we will move on. Let's head on over to FIFA 16. The biggest player to transfer away for free this season from Everton was probably Sylvain Distin, like 37 years of age, going to Bournemouth. Alright, fair enough. And in terms of players they brought in this season, I'm not going to recreate a lot of them. In fact, I might only recreate one because a lot were a bit stinky. The most expensive was Umar Niasse. They signed for about 20 million, and Funes Mori as well. I mean, he's not awful, but I probably won't go for him. They did, however, pick up Mason Holgate, 61 rated. He's going to get better rated than that, so I could probably go for him. But the starting 11 is looking very nice, with Van Dijk now in at starting centre-back position alongside Jagielka, with Distin leaving. And even though he left in real life, we're still holding on to Sylvain Distin, but it won't really matter because I've got Virgil van Dijk now in that centre-back partnership. Our budget's up again even more, and I'm thinking we can really splash this a little bit. And these are the players I've got my eye on, like Fabinho here. I'd love to go for Andrew Robertson as well, and even though I might not be able to afford him, Mohamed Salah as well. Yeah, again, you know where I'm going with this. We're back to trying to screw over Liverpool. I actually can't buy Mohamed Salah because he's on loan from Chelsea, so I may not be able to get him at all, maybe next season. But we can and will make moves for Fabinho. I'm going to offer 6 million plus Johnny Heitinga. And I'm also going to offer Jelavic here. Funnily enough, a player that in real life was at Hull City at this time. Plus maybe just an extra mil on top for Robertson. And we will get those deals done nicely. Come on. Fabinho and Robertson. He'll stay at left back. Fabinho, I'm assuming, will probably maybe somehow miraculously become a part of our midfield in the future. And with a little cash left over, you know, we can probably go for someone that isn't obviously a future Liverpool player, can freshen it up a little bit. Let's switch things up and maybe go for Leroy Sané, get him added in as well. I might offer, let's say, Brian Oviedo plus 2 million. And yeah, nice one, they have accepted. Instead of Leroy Sané going to the blue side of Manchester, he comes to the blue side of Liverpool. We are obviously out of Champions League or any European football, so we are focusing right back on the Premier League. Can we get back up into that top 4? I still think we're a way away from winning a Premier League, but it could be coming close. Oofed, and we seem to be stuck in mid-table again, unfortunately. Despite having a brilliant start, we're in 9th again. Albeit only like 8 points away from Champions League, we just need some of that quality that we've picked up to start coming through. Because no luck, obviously, in the Capital One Cup or FA Cup either. 88 rated James Rodriguez by himself is not enough clearly yet for us to really start pushing in the Premier League. I don't know, maybe hopefully in FIFA 17. This season, Everton sold, you know, a player for big money in John Stones, going to Manchester City for 55 million. Obviously, we're holding on to him. He's still only our 4th choice centre-back, though, because we actually have a new highest-rated centre-back, and it's not Jagielka, it's not Van Dijk, it's Ashley Williams. They signed for about 14 million from Swansea. He's 31 years of age, and he is our highest-rated centre-back now. It's crazy. I'm also going to recreate the signing of Idrissa Gana Gueye and also Yannick Bolasie. I probably don't have a crazy amount of use for Yannick Bolasie, but hey, he was a baller, so why not? Our reserve goalkeeper, Stanek, is no longer in the game, so we only have 2 goalkeepers, Joel Robels and then, of course, Tim Howard, who's 37 years of age. We also need some backup strikers in this window as well. Shout out to Tom Davies, up from the Youth Academy. So this is what my shortlist is looking like this season. We have got Donnarumma, a little 17-year-old from AC Milan, who I think might be potentially quite special. I got 2 strikers in Marcus Rashford and Dominic Solanke. I could go for both of them possibly. And just because I'd like to maybe add a new midfielder in as well, I found this 19-year-old called Frankie de Jong from Ajax. They tend to produce some pretty good players. So we're going to freshen up some of the players in the squad, bring in some more talent. So we have successfully signed all 4 of those players. Brilliant additions into the team. This very happy, especially bloody getting Donnarumma in so young and early. He will surely overtake Tim Howard when he retires next season, unless there is another certain goalkeeper that joins Everton next season. I don't know. And despite spending about 20 million, we still have another 20 million left over. We got a huge bump in budget this year. And look who I'm still keeping my eye on. It is Mohamed Salah. We still need to find a way to screw over Liverpool at least a little bit every season. Although this is hardly a little bit. Looks like the deal could happen. He's worth 20 million. We've got a little over 20 million. And he accepts his contract. Oh yeah, this is a hammer blow for bloody Liverpool. They don't even know it. Mohamed Salah will not be coming to Liverpool. He will be technically, but to the blue side of Liverpool. Mohamed Salah, the Evertonian. We are shaking things up here. I have also received an email that Romelu Lukaku is requesting a move. That is huge. I do not want to let go of him, and I am not going to sell him. But who knows, this game might force a transfer. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Surely, if all goes well, that team is capable of pushing again for not just mid-table, but more like European football. Let's find out together if it does, and hopefully maybe it might be able to make a cup final too. We're now a couple of seasons in with no silverware. And we are back, yes, finally back up into the top 4, coming in 4th place, just a couple of points ahead of Spurs. Liverpool had a stinker of a season, so we finished ahead of them as well. That's great, but no Premier League title, still like 12 points off it. Also no EFL Cup and also no FA Cup either. Unfortunately, still no silverware. But we've stacked on some seriously good talent. Looks like Lukaku is still with us as well. Hell yeah, I am feeling good about the future. What can we conjure up now in FIFA 18? Now this season, Everton made themselves a pretty tidy profit by selling Romelu Lukaku to Manchester United for like 80-something million. They also sold Ross Barkley off to Chelsea as well. I'm hanging on to both of these players though. And with the money that they got from those transfers, they splashed the cash on a lot of players. I'm probably not going to go for most of them. Names like Theo Walcott, David Klaassen, and some bloke called Sigurdsson. I don't know, I've never heard of him before. We don't need to talk about it. But I will make the real life signings of Michael Keane, Jordan Pickford, And finally, Wayne Rooney they brought in. Only problem is now Wayne Rooney is only an 81 rating and is not really getting into what is now a very good-looking Everton squad. Seriously, 80 rated in every single position. We've got Salah, Lukaku, Rodriguez, Fabinho, Idris Gana-Gueye at a good rating. Van Dijk's only going to get higher. Seriously, Donnarumma in goal. We are surely going to be a real threat in the Premier League. Maybe from this point on. I bloody hope so anyway. Finally, Wayne Rooney comes back to Everton, and it's just when he came back really in real life. Pretty good budget this season. I think we can maybe make something happen with a big signing. I'm aware that Leighton Baines is on the way down in overall, but Andy Robertson's right there waiting to take over. We do need maybe a new right back in for eventually when Seamus Coleman drops off. And I do have a certain Kieran Trippier here that I reckon maybe will get up a little higher in overall in a couple of years as well. So we are going to successfully bring him in for about 20 million. He becomes our highest rated backup right back, but I get the feeling he will be taken over from Coleman pretty soon. Let's also take a quick look in our reserves, by the way. Calvert-Lewin is up now as well, so not bad striker options for us in the future. And who is this to the right as well? Ademola Lookman, who I know will get to an okay rating toward the end of this rebuild. But we've got ourselves a pretty nice, pretty solid looking team. We're back up into the Champions League. Can we finally win something in this season, right here in 2018? Oh my goodness, what in the hell is going on here for us to be coming in 13th? Oh my goodness, how does this happen? How do we come in 14th place now that the team looks as good as it's ever been? That is woeful. Are you telling me we're 7 points away from relegation? Really, this team is fighting for... How does that make any sense? What is going on? We just have a total stinker in the Premier League. No Carabao Cup either and no FA Cup either. So we're still bloody trophyless even now. Absolutely smashed it in the Champions League, but as soon as we get to the knockout stage, look, I mean, we got to the quarterfinals at least, but still not ideal. What is that team missing? How is that team coming in 14th in the Premier League? And how is a team coming 14th in the Premier League making the quarterfinals of the Champions League? That makes no sense. What the hell? Well, that's a write-off. Okay, well, either way, I still believe in this team. Let's just hope it can get it together in FIFA 19. Now, this one was quite a big window for Everton. We're going to bring in a lot of players, but we're also not going to bring in quite a few players too. Andre Gomez they signed, as well as bloody Yerry Mina from Barcelona. He had some promise, didn't quite pan out. But we are going to be signing Kurt Zuma from Chelsea, Luca Digne from Barcelona, as well as Richarlison for about, I think, 40 million. They signed him from Watford. It's very easy to forget he used to play for Watford. Luca Digne and Zuma are able to make the bench. Rashford is keeping Richarlison in the reserves. He's got the same overall as Deulofeu and Wayne Rooney, who had pretty much long left Everton by this point. Also, shout out to Anthony Gordon, a 60 rated Anthony Gordon. I hope he can get up in overall. But this starting 11 now, looking at it, that has to be by far the best the starting 11 has ever looked. Now, watch us find a way to still do absolutely shocking in the Premier League, because it just has not happened for us yet. We do have about 50 million or so in the budget, so why not go and add a couple more players in, like Declan Rice here at West Ham, only 76 rated, could move in for him, and could also move in for this young lad at PSG, Christopher Nkunku. Have got an offer for Seamus Coleman. I could maybe sell him just to make sure we definitely get those deals done. Coleman's no longer the starting right back. And lovely, with those players in, Nkunku and Rice, we've got more players that can just break into the future. We got a handful of other offers for like Michael Keane and Leighton Baines. I mean, I would maybe sell Baines, but we're getting so little cash back. Probably not even a point. Now, I reckon we can just go with the team as is. Let's push on with another season, please. Can we at least get to a final of some sort of competition? We have a team now that is obviously good enough to win some silverware. Oh my goodness, yes! Yes, we might have finally been able to have done it. But it is not over yet though, people, because we, in a head-to-head race for the Premier League title with Liverpool, of all teams, we lead by a point on the final day. We need to get a win, and we need to take down the team in third place away to do it. God knows what was happening in previous seasons, but this team that we have assembled is clearly good enough to win a league, and I think we may just do it here. We just gotta beat Spurs. I might swap Gay out for, well, bloody De Jong is up to 86 for crying out loud, and I think everyone else should do fine. We have made it all the way to bloody 2019, FIFA 19. We haven't won a trophy yet, but we may finally be able to do it here as long as we can just not bottle it against the would-be bottlers in Spurs. And how crazy would it be if our Captain Van Dijk in this alternative timeline lifted up the Premier League title instead of for Liverpool? I'm not even paying attention to what's happening in the other game with Liverpool. I just got to get this win and it will be done. Oh, Lukaku. Oh, Lukaku. What's going on? Oh, my God. Fabinho's been nutmegged. This is not going too great. Oh, that's a really good ball in, actually. Go on. Boots it away. Thank you very much. We'll go in a half-time level. Oh, nervy moments. We have got to find this winning goal. We could still win the league with a draw, but I'd rather not. It is mathematically possible. I don't want to count on it. Who's going to be the hero? Who wants to win Everton its first Premier League? Huge space up the middle. Huge space. We've got Sane. We've got Lukaku. Lukaku's got the back of the net, and we've got our goal. Romelu Lukaku. He sticks it out his career at Everton, and look at the reward he might get. Very nice move there. Sane, simple cut back for Lukaku, and he gets it past Hugo Lloris. Hell yes, baby. We might potentially be winning this Premier League title after all. It's not over yet though, but right now we have got a hand on the trophy. Interception again from De Jong. I can't believe it with this guy. Lukaku, hold him off. Go on. The keeper's actually out of goal. Oh my God. Don't tell me you got a hand to that. Oh my Lord. I thought James Rodriguez just won us the league in the most, oh my God, incredible fashion possible. It may not matter. Go on, stick a big tackle. That is clean. Back to the keeper. This is over. The title is won. Everton have done it. We raided Liverpool for half their players, and look, we now are the ones that take home the champions of England. And the captain, Virgil van Dijk of Everton, lifts up the Premier League trophy. Wow, that is something ridiculous, but it is done. Our first trophy at last in FIFA 19 in this rebuild. It's finally won. We are Premier League champions. Wow, it doesn't even really matter because look, Liverpool only drew their game to Wolverhampton. So in the end, all right, cool, sweet. It didn't really matter at all. But we are going to take home that Premier League title. Sadly, there won't be a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup won in this season. It's just the Premier League. But I will happily take it though, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, we have got our first trophy on the board. You also know what that means, people. This team, this Everton side, it's back into the Champions League as well. Can we go for some European glory? Let's head over to FIFA 20. Now, Everton again made some signings this season that I'm not going to recreate. Guys like Alex Iwobi from Arsenal for like 30 million and Fabian Delph just randomly from Man City for 10 million, but like, nah, I think I might go for one player only, and that is Moise Kean. They picked up from Juventus. I reckon that's a tidy player for us to have right there. So we can add him in. That means we've got Calvert-Lewin, bloody Dominic Solanke. Yes, Rooney is probably going to retire soon, so I might try to transfer list him and get at least some cash. But the team, it just looks so good, pretty much unchanged from last season. A few more higher up overalls now, I think, as well. Donnarumma's back in goal. These are the players I am going to transfer list. I think finally I'll just let go of Leighton Baines with him down to 75 now. Fellaini and Tom Davies we can probably let go of. Kevin Morales is still here. We've held on to him for quite a while. And Wayne Rooney, yeah, we may as well sell him and get at least 10-something mil for him and spend that on. We're immediately going to start off by letting Tom Davies go to bloody Galatasaray. And with him sold, that bumps the budget up to 65 million. We can definitely get a good player for that. Honestly, it's probably more like 80, maybe more like even 90 million with the wage adjusted. Looking at that team, I'm noticing James Rodriguez is starting to drop in overall a bit, so maybe a really high quality center attacking midfielder. Maybe, for example, like Kai Havertz here, who is going to cost about, well, he's worth 55. He's probably going to cost us maybe 70 or 80. Perfect, let's go for him. The range says actually between 70 to 100 mil, so it might be almost everything we have. Will they take 70 million? No, they come back and say 96 million. Let's round that down to say 85 million flat. And terrific, just like that, we have signed Kai Havertz from Bayer Leverkusen, baby. He's going then straight into the starting center attacking midfield position now. He'll probably get higher rated with him being only 20 years old. And what a team again. Looking to go back-to-back in the Premier League, and of course, looking to do damage in the Champions League. We've got Bayern, that's tough. The rest of the teams, we should be getting out of that group, hopefully. How far can we go? Would love to go back-to-back in the Premier League. Would love to really start stacking on trophies toward the end here, since we won basically nothing up until last season. Unfortunately, no luck in the Premier League. We had a huge 93-point season, but was not able to beat Liverpool in the end. They still won it in 2020 after all. Once again, no domestic trophies, FA Cup or Carabao Cup. So we win nothing in England, but how did our Champions League go? Pretty bloody well. We're in the final. We're taking on Real Madrid. We got out of the group and beat Juventus. Then we ended up beating Inter Milan. And then we ended up beating, who else but Liverpool in the semi-finals. That is what a collection of semi-finals, by the way, an El Clasico and a Merseyside derby. But yeah, it's Real Madrid we're going to face in a Champions League final. Having not won a thing in England as reigning English champions, no longer now, losing out to Liverpool, can we become European champions and take out Real Madrid? Real Madrid versus Everton. I don't know how many, if any, matchups this time, how many times this matchup has happened, but it's happening now. We are going for our first European title. I mean, at least I'm pretty confident. I don't think Everton have ever won the Champions League before. I'm pretty confident. I just looked it up. They've won a European Cup Winners' Cup. That's about it, though. This time, we're gunning for the real deal, the real thing. This is going to be massive. Karim Benzema will get it off and underway for Real Madrid and for Everton. European Championship on the line. Oh, yes. Come on, Havertz. Lukaku. Havertz. One last chance before the end of the half. I've got Lukaku. He's offside, mate. Get on. Fake shot. Havertz. Curling effort. Wide. Nearly took the lead right at the end of the half, but no. Tell you what, they've barely had an attack. And now look right at the end here in a really awkward position. Hazard's running all the way and he does the most. What the hell is that for a cross? Oh my God, that's pathetic. And yeah, we are just destined for extra time. Oh, right at the end of this first half of extra time. I'm just going to put the ball in and hope for what in the hell is that? All the crosses in this game for both Real Madrid and Everton are going nowhere. 15 minutes left. This might go to pens. I'm making changes too. Havertz is off. James Rodriguez coming back in. This man, of course, would have gone to Real Madrid had we not bought him early. And now he's going to face him in a final. Oh, Hazard won the header against Salah. Well, that settles the debate. He's definitely the best Premier League winger ever. One last chance. Oh, Ramos steals it. It's going to penalties. Of course it would. Who'll be the European champions? We're going to have to figure it out with a shootout. Let's go. Donnarumma in goal. Hazard up first. And Hazard gets denied. Stellar start. Oh, no, let's not go too far, please. Thank you. Ramos is going next. Where does he want to put it? Oh, it's off of the post. Oh, my God, that's huge. And now here's James Rodriguez. He came up off of the... Oh, yes, he just got it. Brilliant start. Here's Bale. Bale puts it wide as well. He does, doesn't he? Yes. Oh, come on, Fabinho, mate. This is it. This is to win for a perfect penalty shootout. 3-0. And we have won the Champions League. Oh, cop that, Real Madrid. Get in there. Tucked away in the bottom left-hand corner. And European champions for the first time, Everton. Let's go, baby. I mean, we're up to FIFA 20. We've only got two trophies. One being a Champions League, one being a Premier League. I mean, if you're going to only win two, that's not too bad. But let's just try to keep stacking on as many as we can with what time we have left. We've got the biggest one now ticked off. Everton are European champions. How about that? Hoisted up by Van Dijk as well. Never fails to entertain me, that. We got close to another Premier League title. Shame it didn't quite work out, but we very clearly now have a team capable of winning plenty of trophies. Let's continue this, hopefully, in FIFA 21 as reigning European champions. Now, funnily enough, this season in real life was the season that James Rodriguez at actually joined Everton, but we obviously have had him for a little while. Even if he has now lost his starting centre attacking midfielder spot to bloody Havertz, he's down to an 82 overall and probably won't get into that starting 11 again, honestly. But there's only one other player that actually Everton signed in real life that I'm going to recreate, and that's going to be the Brazilian centre midfielder, Alan, they picked up. He's actually an 83 overall. He might not stay 83 overall for long, but still we'll get him in. You may notice that Rashford is now the left winger, our best option in that position. Everything else is pretty much the same still. I think the only player I'm really going to sell now is Shane Duffy. His overall is down pretty low to a 73, so he's pretty much finished. And we also actually only right now have two goalkeepers in Donnarumma and Pickford. Not bad options to have, but I need a backup keeper. And I reckon that player can just be Aaron Ramsdale. He'll only cost us about 5 million, or maybe apparently 8.3, but you know what? Fine, that's okay. Awesome stuff. We got Ramsdale, we got Pickford, we got Donnarumma in goal. That's not bad competition. The only two trophies we haven't won so far are the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. To be fair, the two smaller trophies that we're going for, but I would still like to tick those off and get as many trophies as we can in the last, 4 seasons that we have left. Well, we go from the 90-something points we got last season to 71 only, and we finish in the exact same place, third, unfortunately. Carabao Cup is a no, and the FA Cup is also a no. We are again trophyless in England. We are also not going back-to-back in the Champions League. Look at this for a final, Mönchengladbach. And it turns out they knocked us out in the quarterfinals. Unbelievable. That is quite the letdown for a team this good. Again, a trophyless season. We're not doing what I was hoping we would do, which was stack on the trophies, not going an entire season with nothing. Do I really need to make even more signings? Bloody hell. I don't know. Let's find out in FIFA 22. Now, this season we saw Everton let go of Moise Kean going to Juventus. They also sold Luca Digne to Aston Villa as well. James Rodriguez ended up leaving to go to Qatar, and honestly, the players that they brought in, their most expensive signing was Milianenko that they signed from Dynamo Kiev, and I'm not really sure if I'll go for him. They also got Dele Alli in for free, but it's fair to say he didn't really revive his career at Everton either. So we're not recreating any transfers from the real life Everton side this season. I mean, looking at that team, John Stones is the lowest rated player at an 83, and we know he still gets better. An all 80 rated bench with a pretty solid amount of decent reserves as well. I'm thinking that, like, literally, we're so good, but we're still gonna have to splash some cash because apparently that team's not good enough to win any trophies last season. Since our lowest rated position in the starting 11 to centre back, I may as well go for another centre back. We got two Brazilians here. One is Bremer before he went to Juventus, still at Torino. And the other one is Gabriel of Arsenal. He's younger, he's higher rated. He's probably going to be about the same max overall as Bremer, and he'll probably cost us bang on exactly what we have in our budget. So let's see if we can make this deal happen. I offer 40 million right out of the gates, and they want 52.9. I mean, we can make something happen there, but we're probably going to have to spend it all on him. We're just going to round that one down to 50 million flat. Done. Gabriel joins Everton now as a backup centre back. I think he'll be pushing John Stones for that starting centre back position, but he might not get it outright. That's okay though, just the one extra addition this season. I don't know if that's going to drastically change how well our team's going to play. A backup bench centre back. But with only 3 seasons left to go, we have a maximum of 12 trophies available to us. It'd be great if we could win them all. I don't think we will. Well, once again, we come super close to just claiming that second Premier League title, but no, it is a second place finish again, 6 points off of Chelsea. We still fall short in the bloody Carabao Cup and in the FA Cup, Man City taking out both. But despite our inability to win English trophies anymore, we are doing bits in the Champions League. We are in the final. Would you believe it again? We also managed to beat Liverpool in the semi-finals again as well to get here. Shout out to Sevilla making it to the final as well. Hell yeah, we have a chance to go and win a second Champions League with Everton. Another UCL final, another chance to bring home another Champions League to Liverpool. The team looks absolutely ridiculous. We have got to be the heavy favourites here against Sevilla. Of course, the last one we had to decide through a penalty shootout. I'm hoping it'll be a lot more straightforward this time around. Come on, we've got this one off and underway. Lukaku gets it off and underway. I see Salah making a run. I see Salah making a run. Oh, I see. Hello. No, that should have been a goal. Lukaku's a bit deeper. I think he's going to be off here, Sane. I think he's going to be off. Yeah, I know he will be. I know he will be. Stop celebrating. Just, come on, do it already. Thank you. Yes. And Nkunku is away here. Oh, come on. We got a chance on this time. Surely Lukaku. Yes! Finally, we get the goal. Romelu Lukaku, who's been here from day one, ends up scoring in the final. Nkunku sent away, gets to the byline and is able to cut it back brilliantly for Romelu. Don't know why he took the touch, but at least he took the shot. And we lead at last in the final. We have reached halftime. We are up in front. So far, going okay. Look at this. Mohamed Salah's bursting away down the wing. Big cross deep. First time volley from De Jong. Oh, that would have been a nice way to seal it. That was an ambitious attempt. We are going to bring off Nkunku for Havertz as well now. Oh, no. Oh, no! Oh, Suso has got a goal out of nothing and out of nowhere. With the cross in, Van Dijk couldn't deal with it, and Donnarumma comes out and can't get it either, and it's out of nowhere, level again in the UCL final. Oh, no. Not what we were hoping for. I thought we were cruising in this second half. Big tackle. God, someone go back and get it, please. Thank you, Salah. Yes, Salah. Go, Salah. Run, Salah. All the way, Salah. Maybe not all the way. That's a disgrace. Referee, send him off. That's murder. Gosh, how do you even take free kicks in this game again? I can't even remember. Go on. Up like that. Get the dip on it. Go on, Leroy Sané. Oh, for Christ's sake. Free kicks in FIFA 22 were so shocking. Don't let them score right at the end here from this corner. Boot this thing away. Stones, he clears it. That has got to be time. Surely it's extra time. Yes, indeed it is. Unbelievable. We are going to 30 extra more minutes again. Lukaku, little pass off there. Havertz. Oh, now we got Sane. Sane's got plenty of time. Just settle and shoot and score right to start off. Extra time, nice and early. We retake the lead. Brilliant little counter-attack in the opening few minutes of extra time. Sane slots it. Oh, this is another great break. Mohamed Salah away. We got Lukaku. The ball's actually there for him. One more time. I'm scared he'll be off. It doesn't matter. We hit the bloody post. Ball comes back in. Lukaku, and he does get it. Oh, come on. Everton surely on for a second UCL. Oh, unbelievable scenes. Havertz looks to have totally sold it, but Romelu Lukaku, with his second of the game, doesn't get more upper echelons than that. That is a magnificent header. I think it comes just off the underside of the crossbar and dips in too. Hell yeah, surely that is the Champions League final sealed now. Oh, lovely switch. And Salah. Oh, yes. Oh, my God, Havertz. Can you stop sucking for once? It is not going to matter. They're going to boot the ball away. The referee's going to blow his whistle, and it will make it official. We had to go to extra time, but we will not go to penalties. We will get it done in extra time. 3-1, second Champions League title won. Let's go. What a brilliant final. Entertaining. I thought we had it in the bag. It got a little bit more exciting with the extra time. I didn't honestly see coming with Sevilla scoring that late equaliser, but it ends the way that we wanted to. Only 3 trophies so far in this rebuild. Only 3, but 2 of them are Champions Leagues. I mean, what the hell, bro? We've clearly built a team that's fantastic for Europe, maybe not so much for the English game. God knows what's going on there, but we'll keep going. FIFA 23. Once again, there were plenty more moves for Everton, like, for example, Richarlison going to Spurs, Anthony Gordon going to Newcastle. Gordon's only 75 rated. Richarlison can only get on the bench. He's not even close to getting into our starting 11. But we are going to hang on to them anyway, and we're not even going to bother recreating the most expensive signings that Everton made, like, you know, Amadou Onana for 40 million. I don't think so. Dwight McNeil they signed as well. I think we can just leave it. But who can we sign with our 72 million? What improvement can we make? We already signed a centre-back last season, despite Stones still being the lowest rated player. I could go for like a new left winger, maybe a new right back, because Trippier might drop off a bit. I'm not sure. I had this weird idea I was going to sign Pedri and play him at left wing, but he is actually going to be worth way more than what we have. So in the end, I think I might go for either Rafael or Rafael Leao here, but he's gonna probably still be a bit too pricey for us. I'll try it anyway. If we can't get him, I'm just gonna sign Kvaratskhelia, who still is actually worth quite a fair bit despite only being 79 rated. I'm gonna start off with like a $70 million offer, but that's almost all we have already. I cannot believe it, but that's worked somehow. Bloody hell, I did not think we'd be able to afford him at all. Oh, and it turns out we probably won't, because his wage, his bonuses is probably too much for what we have. The best we can offer him, no bonuses, is 15 grand a week. I don't think he's gonna go for this. Yeah, shocker. They're not particularly happy with that. That is all right though, because we can complete the signing of Kvaratskhelia instead. I reckon he'll honestly probably start for us at left wing next season. But yeah, the team really is that good that we had to drop all of our budget to get one reserve player. That's it. Can we please win a trophy in England? At least one this season, I swear. Well, the good news is, people, we have absolutely smashed it in the Premier League this season, and finally, we get our second Premier League title. There's still 2 games to play, but look at the gap in points, bro. It's over. On the flip side of that, though, we underperformed in the Champions League, getting knocked out in the round of 16. We also, again, failed to make the Carabao Cup final, but in the FA Cup final, at long last, we have reached Wembley in a domestic competition. We're going to be taking on Bournemouth as well in the final, so once again, surely we're red-hot favourites. Finally, for the first time, we get to see Everton walk out at Wembley Stadium. We are going for that 5th trophy of the rebuild so far, and the one that we haven't got yet here in the FA Cup. Can we get it done? Let's do this then, people. Come on, surely got to get the dub here today. And Nkunku. I've got Lukaku. I think he's going to be off here. He definitely will be. He sticks it in, but we know it's off. Yeah, we know. And so far, a couple of really only speculative shots that haven't resulted in too much. Come on, up the middle. I see the gap for Lukaku. Surely this time. Bang it in at the near post. He's got it. Romelu Lukaku with the backflips and the opening goal. This man is on his way to earning himself Evertonian legend status at this rate. Oh, come on. On the volley, it gets saved there by Neto. It might not go out for a corner. It's not cleared away all the way, but it is done. In the end, just the one goal, and we secure an FA Cup. Lovely stuff. Finally, almost 10 years in, we get this finally. We get our appearance at Wembley, and Lukaku takes care of the rest. The ribbons on the FA Cup are blue once again. It is going to be our first FA Cup trophy of the rebuild. Hell yeah, we raise it up high to the Evertonian fans that made the trip down to London. Awesome stuff. And for the first time in this rebuild, we win more than one trophy in a season. We pick up the 2 with the Premier League and FA Cup. We've got this team now up to 5 trophies with one last season left. How much will we finish with as we head on over to FC 24? Here we are in FC 24, people. Here is the real-life Evertonian team. As you can see, it is a mid to high 70s across the board rated side, with your best and only goalkeeper above an 80 being your keeper, Jordan Pickford. They are a side that has struggled in recent memory and has been spending most of their time in the Premier League down toward the bottom in a relegation fight. And this is the Everton side that we have rebuilt in this 10-year rebuild. We poached a handful of players from Liverpool. Yes, we also held on to some of the better players that Everton have had, like Lukaku, although he is now down to an 84. We held on to John Stones as well. He's playing at right back, which is maybe not his ideal position, but he could probably do a job there as well. In general, we built a ridiculous team that, to be fair, has only won 5 trophies. Yes, 2 Champions Leagues, but only 5 trophies seems like a bit not as much for a team this good. Here's hoping in the final season of this rebuild we can stack on a couple of trophies, finish strong. Let's see what we can get in this last season. Well, the good news is, yes, we're going back to back in the Premier League, even with a few games to go. It is sealed. We are not going to win a Carabao Cup, and we're also not going to make an FA Cup final. Just one FA Cup or Carabao Cup in like 20 attempts is not ideal. As for the Champions League, not quite able to reach a final. We got knocked out, actually, in the goddamn semi-finals to RB Leipzig. But this Evertonian side that we've rebuilt, it is going to finish with one final trophy, and that's the Premier League, so let's go enjoy it. Goodison Park is jumping, the Toffees are up and about. We get a 3rd Premier League title to seal this final season of the rebuild. A 3rd Premier League title, 2 Champions Leagues and an FA Cup to take us to 6 trophies won in the rebuild with a sensational Evertonian side that's got it done. That'll do it for this rebuild, people. That'll also do it for the entire FIFA 14 to FC 24 series. And that is, of course, because FC 25 is right around the corner. Let me know in the comment section down below what team you want me to do first for the FIFA 15 to FC 25 series. And until next time, people, thank you so much for watching. If you have not already, if you've made it this far, be sure to like and, of course, be sure to subscribe. My name's themasterbucks. I'll see you in FC 25. And if you've enjoyed this video, then be sure to click on this one as well for plenty more.